How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video of Truly Yours, Architectural Intelligence. Today I want to rant about a topic that is on my mind quite a lot, and that is why or what is the biggest reason holding architectural innovation back, or what is the biggest reason that the architecture industry is not able to innovate much. You see, now, as I mentioned in some of my previous videos, there are many companies that are coming up with tools to make the life of architectural designers, architects, engineers, contractors easier. And even though these tools, some of them have pretty good ideas and ideas that might become adopted in the long term, the reason why we don't have bigger and better applications and tools to create better buildings and to analyze our buildings is this: nobody is able to obtain data about buildings. Not even the biggest companies that you use every day to design buildings have a lot of data for their own. And if they do, it's completely closed off. Nobody else can access that data to create different tools from the ones that company makes. Just think about all the data that a building has. Not only its performance data, but its construction data, its cost data, its design data, all of it. Think about all the pieces of information that a building can have. How often does your CAD software or even Revit use that? How often? Not very. I mean, Revit is one of the biggest building information models ever created, right? And Autodesk pushed it in order to be able to have many more smart models of buildings. But even then, it's not what they thought it would be. It's a pain in the butt to assign data for every part of the building. Nobody freaking does that. Very few people are inputting every piece of data onto their Revit models. And it's just a waste of time. It's a huge time sink for an architect to take the time to input every little piece of data about the building into their architectural models. Therefore, you end up having these geometries that are not smart. So, what happens with that? The biggest push in innovation right now in all of technology is machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, neural networks, all of these things. And all of that uses what tech startups in the architectural industry can do in terms of innovation. Because of the lack of data, they cannot use the most cutting edge tools that they have at their hands. The biggest innovation in the architectural industry will be a platform where people are able to share all types of data about a building. Data about its design, data about its construction, data about its cost, data about its performance. And the thing is that there's going to have to be a big push to this, because the data of our buildings is trapped in drawings. Or maybe some PDFs, some paper documents that a company created or that the government created, right? Imagine all the different parameters that dictate the design of a building. They're all in law, in papers that a human has to read in order to obtain the heights and setbacks and floor to area ratios. Just think of all the companies that are, for example, Zillow, which is there's some overlap between them and the architectural industry. Data is so important to them that even though they weren't as successful as they thought they would be, they were able to manipulate whole real estate markets because they have all that price data at their tips. And it's open. We can all see it. We can all see those data points. So until something comes along where it allows the architectural industry to share their intelligence, we will struggle with the same ways of designing. But even if a tool does come around that does that, the architectural industry is so closed off. People are afraid of sharing the things that make their buildings great. To go from a closed, non-sharing culture like the one in architecture to an open source culture like the one in software engineering, where people share the things, where people share how their applications work. They share the literal construction of their applications for others to imitate. Until we change that one thing, the architectural innovation, the technological innovation in the architectural industry will be slowed down until then. Because we will not be able to analyze the buildings that we're creating. We need to change the way we think about our buildings, and we need to share more.